I said, the Academy loves Ryan Coogler. They love this film, but I
Yeah.
have a feeling that they may give Sinners like Best Picture, but Best Director to Paul Thomas Anderson just because he hasn't won it yet.
Right. Right.
So, because
Yeah.
he's won the PGA, he won the DGA, like
Because if they start
all the
giving
cards are there.
too many awards to Sinners, they know people are gonna be like, oh, well, they just want
Yeah.
this film to win. Because okay.
If you're hearing this, welcome to another episode of It's the Stream of Life podcast with Brandon and Lorin. And we are gathered here today to commemorate on our final Oscar predictions as the Academy Awards are coming up next Sunday, March 15th at 8 p.m. on ABC. We'll also talk about some other things happening in the news. But first, how's your week been going?
Pretty good. I'm excited that the sun came back out because it seems like for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, it's just been away. So to have it out these last 2 days has been nice. But I know the temperature is about to drop again, and there's rain in the forecast. So yeah,
Yeah, it was really nice out. I was able to go for a walk. It's still
yeah,
daylight at 7 o'clock, which is
exactly.
great. But yeah, the weather's about to fluctuate again. So
It just
I
needs
don't.
to be spring. Stop trying to go back. Just be spring.
Yeah, already. And if not that, just rain, but stay warm.
Yeah, yeah. Pick something. This.
Exactly. Stop flip flopping. We're going to go ahead and get to our headlines before we get to our feature presentation. First up, the biggest news in the past 2.5 weeks or so is that Paramount won the bid for Warner Bros. Discovery against Netflix. So, as of right now, we still have the Congress to approve this massive, massive monopolizing merger, but it looks like the studio that owns Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, and DC Comics is about to merge with the same studio that owns Mission Impossible, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Yellowstone franchise. It's a little overwhelming.
It's way too much, but I've seen so many things where one, they don't think it will go through because of Congress, and just like they also believe he doesn't have the
The
money.
money.
Yeah. And some people think maybe Netflix played his hand, like, yeah, go ahead, spend all this money, and you know, and they're just like, okay, and then they'll
Yeah,
buy it
cause,
down the line for a couple years because it's probably not going to work.
yeah, because Netflix one has the money. You could tell they
Right.
have the money because they shrugged it off. It's like, oh, we want it, we don't need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And at this point, Warner Brothers has been ran through. David Zaslav's left it broke. That's why he's trying to sell it
Yeah.
off. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, something about the Ellisons. For rumor has it he was trying to get the Saudis to fund. They helped fund the purchase of Paramount in the first place, and they're supposed to
Oh
help the
wow.
purchase now. That's why people are so against this particular acquisition. Not only is it monopolizing the industry, but the
Right.
money is funny. It's from the dark corners
Yeah.
of the universe. So
Huh. But
um
no matter
yeah.
what happens, if it goes through or not, I think you're definitely going to see a rise, even more so, of independent studios and things like that. They're just going to be like, why bother it? Let's just do our own thing. So,
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be sort of like a return of like right now, like back I guess the golden age of Hollywood, you only had the studios
right.
owning the actors and whatnot. We had the breaking up multiple companies and whatnot. Now we're heading back to like these one done bosses, and people aren't going to stand for it.
No.
And it's not sustainable.
No, not at all.
So since the bid, David Ellison had promised $31 per share
Right.
to Netflix initial like $27 or whatnot. Plus, they promised to pay Netflix's cancellation fee, which was $2.8 billion if the deal fell through, and also a percentage of shares to the Warner Brothers shareholders for each day past the end of the year that the deal is not finished. So after this year, December 31st, 2026, and the deal still wasn't finished, they got like 32 cents on the dollar per share until the deal was complete. So
Oh,
that's how he sweetened the pot for the shareholders.
yeah, yeah.
He also purchased the film studio, which Netflix wasn't planning to do. So
Right.
he bought the whole caboose, including the cable channels, which was another pushback. Not only does Paramount own CBS News and changing objective journalism to state-owned journalism, they could possibly own CNN as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because you look at CBS News now, and that is exactly state journalism. It's bad. It's poor, from what it was, um,
Hmm.
and I think that's why a lot of people are scared of this. Just like what next? Like what now? How many? How much more can fall?
Yeah, it's terrible. Ellison stated that CNN will remain independent, but we don't know that's true. He also says the
Yeah, I
HBO
doubt it.
brand will be independent as well. Like it will run as it is now, just under the umbrella. And honestly, if you mess up HBO, your company's going to fail. HBO spent the past 30 something,
Yeah,
40 something
yeah,
years to attain this sort of pristine image. It almost got tarnished by Zaslav with the HBO Max,
right.
all of this with Discovery. So they've got to be careful. Of course, if it goes through, Paramount Plus and HBO Max will merge into one platform, which
Don't need
sounds
that.
insane. And I'm sure they'll be charging $30 a month. He also promises 30 films will release each year under this new
Okay.
merger, which is, sir, what?
Yeah,
All these things sound too good to be true. Like we
yeah.
said,
That's
it
because
still
they
has to
are.
seek Congress approval. And as many people
Right.
that were against Netflix buying Warner
Right.
Brothers,
Exactly.
there's even more pushback against Paramount from our government, from the international markets, um, from the Writers Guilds, the Actors Guild. They're just not here for it. So hopefully it flops, but I don't know. And speaking of the guilds, the staff union inside the WGA, the Writers Guilds of America
Yeah.
West, have been on strike since roughly the end of February. Um, they were negotiating their contracts within the union, and these staff union members are like the people in IT and payroll, sort of like the staff within the greater WGA of the West,
Right.
and they were going on strike because claiming of unfair practices. There's a link there if you want to see the comparisons, what the WGA was offering them and what their demands are. Recently, I guess, it sort of hedged them out of this I guess discontent. They canceled the WGA West ceremony, award ceremony, and the
Well,
strikers were like, okay, and they're still on the picket line. So it's like some of the things that they're asking for. Clearly, they want a minimum salary raise. The WGA was offering 57,000 a year. They're wanting the 59,000. What else? A wage increase, 4% wage increase by August 2026 and August 2027. They're wanting a lot more. Um, a 5% minimum increase and a lot of other things, which, um, just to be clear, the WGA West is the only union that's on strike right now. The East is
oh,
not,
okay.
because they
Yeah, yeah.
normally operate independently. They only came together to form as Voltron that
Right.
last dual strike. So this just comes basically weeks before both guilds approach the Association of Television and Motion Pictures for their official contracts, since it's been 3 years since that's been done. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I would assume they find somewhere in the middle to mediate so they can then come to the big dogs, the studios, and officiate a final contract, which the studios are offering a 5-year contract compared to a 3-year contract, which sounds good in gist, but it just kind of prolongs. I think the union see it as prolonging what they want and longer stretches
Yeah.
from getting what they need. Actually, so it's been very quiet on that front, given that it's not the actual WGA on strike. It's sort of a
Exactly.
strike
Yeah.
within in the company. So yeah, they're supposed to meet with AMPTA on the 16th of this month.
Okay.
Another headline I forgot to list. I guess The Bride, Maggie Gyllenhaal's film that came out this
Oh
weekend.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I guess was
Did
a
not
commercial
do.
flop.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and it's a shame because Jessie Buckley is so good, and she's really, gaining steam with Hamnet. And I do, and Maggie Gyllenhaal is really, really one of those people you can tell cares about film because when she was in The Deuce, I think she did a few episodes that towards the end of the series. But anyway, um, I just I didn't know about this film. I promise you until like a few weeks ago. Like again, it's just I think it's a
Mm,
failure on marketing. Just like,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah, I knew I was aware of it because there were essentially like three Frankenstein films kind of
Right.
all coming this year. Guillermo's, Gyllenhaal's, and then I think another one. I forget from who. But yeah, this film was made for 90 million, and it looks like it's made around 13 or something like that
Oh
in this
God.
first weekend. Yeah, so they're not being too nice to the Bride of Frankenstein right now. And the reviews have been mixed. Some people say that it was audacious and film forward, and others have said that it kind of missed the mark. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Personally, I don't think Maggie really cares. As like you said, she's more about the craft, but
Exactly. Yeah.
that's the industry we live in. Is they're going to focus on the money. So
And it seems like something like that, which is, um, how do you say it? Kind of recreating something that already exists to redo this story. Almost a $90 million budget is crazy. You know what I mean? Like it seems like maybe she shouldn't
mhm.
have swung for the fences that big, but at the same time, it's like, I've not seen the film, so I don't know what it includes and how the
Right,
budget was
right.
spent, but yeah, I don't know.
Especially when the past year you had both Sinners and Weapons
Exactly.
sort
Yeah,
of do it on less and recoup it
exactly.
majorly. So
And then
yeah,
like you said, during a year where um there are more Frankenstein-esque movies, it's going people are going to get worn out on the topic. So,
exactly, exactly. One last headline here: a Game of Thrones movie is moving forward. They've been sort of gestating on this idea since the original series was on air. The film is set to have Bo Willimon write the script, who's known for House of Cards and Andor.
mm,
And it's supposed to focus on Aegon Targaryen the First's rise to rule Westeros. So basically, this would be after House of Dragon, technically, I think, or maybe it's about
mm.
the ancestor. I don't know, but it's coming eventually, sometime. Um, and Willman is a great writer. He does the
Yeah.
political stuff very well, so it'll be interesting to see just off rip for that. Next thing on the agenda is we have the Actor Awards sponsored by the SAG-AFTRA, which used to be the SAG-AFTRA Awards, where
Yeah.
the actors vote on their peers in television and film. Again, Kristen Bell hosted, and this award show streams exclusively on Netflix, so there's no censors, there's no commercials and
Right.
whatnot. Let's start with the TV side. Mainly some repeat winners from the past year as television. Both the studio and the pit came home with the ensemble for comedy and drama series, so like a
Yeah.
repeat of the Emmys. And you had Seth Rogen winning for Best Actor in a Comedy, and the late Catherine O'Hara won Best Female Actress for
Yeah.
a comedy. Noah Wiley repeated in a drama series, and I believe he's won the Emmy, the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, and now the
Damn.
SAG. So he kind of swept this season. A surprise win was Kerry Russell for The Diplomat. And then limited series was Adolescence, along with Owen Cooper sweeping for Best Actor. Now he's the youngest actor to win the Critic, the Globe, the Emmy, the BAFTA, like everything
Right.
at 16. I believe he's like
That's
the
nuts.
youngest performer to do that. And then a surprise for the limited series was Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex.
Yeah, that was a good show though. I really enjoyed that. So glad she won.
Yeah, people really liked it. It just adolescence was just in the way,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Right.
The SAG-AFTRA Achievement Award went to Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
and ensemble for TV went to The Last of Us. Stunt ensemble.
Yeah.
Now for the film is where we have some predictions now for the Oscars that may be moving a bit. Starting with stunt ensemble for motion picture went to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. You had Amy Madigan win for Weapons, and I think she hadn't
Mm.
won since the Globes. No, that was Tiana Taylor. She won somewhere earlier in the season, but I can't remember which one it was. Sean Penn won for Best Supporting for One Battle After Another. Jesse Buckley for Hamnet, of
Yeah.
course. Surprise, Michael B. Jordan took the award for leading actor with Sinners. So he went
Yeah.
all season out of the loop, other than like the NAACP awards, and then won the last award ceremony. So it's a toss up now for the
Yeah.
Oscars.
I don't trust the Academy, so
Right.
right.
It could
I'm
go
not getting my hopes up.
either
Yeah.
way. But we know who didn't win. Timothy Chalamet.
That is true. That is true.
And then for best cast for motion picture, it went to Sinners.
Yeah.
And Ryan Coogler made history as the first director to have two films win the Cast Motion Picture Award. He won for Black Panther in 2018 as well.
Yeah. My take on this, and obviously we'll get into the predictions later, but since he won that, I just worry that if Sinner wins, you're gonna hear so much of that disguised racism, like, oh, this film isn't deserving of this. The same thing they did to Black Panther and any other kind of black film that gets up
Mm-hmm.
there. Just like even people were saying that about Moonlight. Like, are you crazy? That's one of the best movies
Right. It was the
to come
best
out.
movie of the year, of
Yeah,
that
it was so
year.
much better than La La Land. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not ready for that, but I do hope Sinners does well. So
Right. Right. All right. We'll go ahead into our feature presentation, our Oscars final stretch, and we're going to start with our Oscars watch. It looks like we both watched some movies that are currently available on Hulu.
yes, they
Um,
are.
let's start with yours because it was just an accident. It is in my watch list. I just didn't
Yeah.
get to it this weekend. So
Is
how is it was just an accident?
I thought it was decent. As somebody who does not speak the language, this film is based in Iran and features Iranian actors. Um, uh, I mean, I thought it was decent. I've seen reviews talking about how, the dialogue doesn't really match up with how I believe it's pronounced Farsi is actually spoken, and there's different things that could be better. But the
Mhm.
story itself, I thought, was really interesting. And so, and it follows a mechanic who uh, he was arrested and tormented in an Iranian prison because I believe he spoke out. And one day he's in his shop, and a guy comes in, and one of the guards had a prosthetic leg, and he remembered the sound of it. And so he hears this guy, he sees this guy in his shop, and he freaks out. He goes, oh, I gotta go talk to these other people, they're also in prison with me. And that's the basis of the film. So he puts together like this ragtag group of ex-prisoners. And but before that, he kidnaps the guy. He like incapacitates him, put him in the car, and then he goes to get these other people. One is a woman who is a photographer, and then she is actually a photographer, a woman who's getting married, and that woman that's getting married was also in prison. And then there's another young guy who's in prison, and they figure out like I've got this guy, arrested. I've got him hemmed up in my truck. What do we do? And that is kind of what the movie does, and it just talks about how it's very ironic to be watching it now, considering what's going on between the U.S. and Iran. But but it was very good. Then the last scene is very kind of like powerful because at the end, a lot of the people leave the group, they go back home, and then the photographer and the main character, um, Vahid is his name, I believe, have the prison guard tied up, and they put him against a tree, and they just start taking turns, like, "This is what you did to me." They both go through it. They yell at him. They shout, and they do this, and it's kind of like emotionally um, charged. But I don't know. For me, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good and um, kind of a quick movie. It's just like an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm curious to see how it would do against the other films that stacked against.
Okay.
Right.
Good. Yeah. This one at Cannes, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And it's funny you say that you mentioned like a rag team of sort of like prisoners. A secret agent, starring Wagner Moura, actually centers on a area in Brazil where sort of political refugees have gathered in this sanctuary where they've had to leave home because of political pressure or whatnot.
Right.
It's set in the 70s, and Moore's character is named Armando. And he was a professor at a university, he and his wife, and they sort of get, I guess you say, bought out by this other professor from the north who already has sort of like
Mm,
these views of people in
yeah.
the south in Brazil, class, race, whatever. And because he sort of defied this new regime, he had to escape, basically.
Right.
And he's working with these sort of like political actors underneath the ground or whatever. And he came there for refuge. But ultimately he has to leave because assassins are out to get him.
Yeah.
It does this real interesting thing where you see the story play out. You meet these characters. You see how things happen in the past. But you also see in the future where there are these two college students listening, sort of following the story via these tapes that were recorded of conversations with the handlers and whatnot. So it has a real sort of interesting
Hmm.
sort of historical context to the story.
Yeah.
It was kind of long, like a good decent length,
Yeah.
but
I was just about
uh,
to say that.
yeah, it goes there. But it doesn't ever feel sluggish. There's enough
Okay. Yeah.
action um, within it. There's humor, um, and Mora is amazing,
Okay.
truly. And actually, I would compare this more to One Battle After Another. There's certainly a familial tie centered to the story
Yeah.
around the political, sort of political charged narrative, where as One Battle After Another kind of did that similarly as well. I just think The Secret Agent did it better,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Okay.
So definitely check it out. The supporting cast is really good. Most of the film is in Portuguese, so there are subtitles, but it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
at all.
And I was gonna
Yeah,
ask you about the pacing because when I saw the runtime, I was like, okay, I'm not sitting here for nearly 3 hours. Not now. So
yeah. It kind of starts slow because they're sort of introducing you to the character in sort of like an odd way that sort of sets up not only the time period but the sort of the political climate. Um,
oh, okay.
Without spoiling too much, he arrives at a gas station, and the police arrive there unexpectedly, supposedly, to sort of interrogate him. And the teller at the gas station has been calling the police all week because they shot a thief, and his body's been laying in the yard at the gas station, and he's not been able to get business because of the corpse. And he said, "Are you here for the corpse?" We're like, "No." So they're already setting up that the police ain't
Right.
shit, the government ain't shit, and then people are just kind of out here on their own. But it has like a level of suspense. There's like emotional ties to it. All in all, I gave it 4 stars. It's really good, and
That's
Mora
good.
did a great job. So definitely set aside time to watch it because it
Yeah.
is long, but I don't think it wasted any of the minutes.
All right. That's cool.
So with that said, we'll go and get into our final predictions here. Not of all the awards because
Right.
there's
There's
too
a
many,
lot.
but just the main ones people actually watch for. So starting with supporting actress. Hold on one second. So our nominees are Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsalder Ilianas for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan, Weapons, Wumi Masuka for Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Has anything changed for you in that for this category?
Uh, Not really. I've seen all of them now besides Sentimental Value. I have no clue when that's coming out, but I think Wunmi Masaku will probably take this one. I feel like I've heard good things about Elle Fanning's performance. Tiana Taylor, while she was good, yeah, I don't, yeah, I'm just gonna go with Wunmi. Let me just say that.
Yeah, same here. I think she's always good in whatever she's in.
Yeah, absolutely.
She should have been nominated for His House, which was an amazing horror film on Netflix. And she seriously is like the heart of this film. Um, you're introduced to her character, you know exactly who she is, she knows who she is, and she knows this world. So I would give it to her. That moves us to supporting actor. The nominees are Benicio del Toro, One Bow After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn, One Bow After Another, and then Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value.
Yeah, I think initially I said Delroy Lindo, and I still hope that he wins, but I think it's gonna be him, Sean Penn, or Benicio del Toro. Jacob Elordi, while he was good, I don't know how. Well, I guess he's like I said, mine's yeah.
You
Okay,
said,
so I think
yeah,
Delroy will take it.
yeah, I don't think Jacob has the,
No,
yeah, same here. I don't
it,
think Jacob has the currency, um, and Dora deserves.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, Jacob was just there. He didn't really speak words.
Right. I was surprised he won anything was nominated. I was like, he was
Yeah,
fine.
he just
Like this
mostly
is his
grunted and
first
moved
like
around. Yeah.
right. He could be in a superhero film. He's like
Mm,
that leads us to adapted screenplay.
yes.
Hold on, I gotta find it in this ballot that someone printed out for me. It should be near the back somewhere. Oh, I forgot they added casting as well. We can touch on that if we want to. So adapted screenplay is Bugonia, screenplay by Will Tracy. Frankenstein, written for the screen by Guillermo del Toro. Hamnet, screenplay by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell. One Battle After Another, written by Paul Thomas Anderson. And Train Dreams, screenplay by Clint Bentley and Greg Quidar.
Huh. I think it will go to Hamnet. I would like to see Train Dreams win,
Yes,
but
I have
I
Train
think,
Dreams just because I haven't seen Hamnet yet.
yeah, exactly. Once I watch Hamnet, maybe I'll be like, okay, Hamnet has it. But Begonia was very good, but I don't think it'll win. Um,
Mm-mm.
Frankenstein again. Everybody knows Frankenstein. Yeah. So yeah, one of those two, Train Dreams or Hamnet.
That moves us to original screenplay. Blue Moon, written by Robert Kaplow. It Was Just an Accident, written by Jafar Pahani. Script collaborators Nadir Savar, Shadmir Rastin, and Mehdi Mohammadin. Marty Supreme, written by Ronald Bornstein and Josh Safdie. Sentimental Value, written by Iskel Vogt and Joachim Thier. And Sinners, written by Ryan Coogler.
Hmm.
I have to
Yeah,
go
I
with
don't know.
Sinners because that's the only one I've
Yeah.
seen.
Like I said, I saw Blue Moon, and while it was good, I got a little annoyed at it. I'm not seeing Marty Supreme or Sentimental Value, so of those three that I have seen, yeah, I think Sinners.
Yeah, I think Timothy shot any win for Marty in the foot this past week. So,
Yeah, that was crazy.
for casting, I think it's kind of similar to the Best Picture nominees, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Why is this so hard to find? So the nominees for casting are Hamnet, Nina Gold, Marty Supreme, Jennifer Venditti, One Bout After Another, Cassandra Cucundis, The
That's her name.
Secret, yeah, The Secret Agent, Gabriel Dominguez, and Sinners, Francine Meisler. I had Sinners. Um, the casting in Secret Agent is well done. You have different nationalities, different dialects, Brazil, all
Okay.
different shades of people. But I've got Sinners.
Yeah, I think Sinners is probably a safe bet.
That leads us to director. And for the record, a black person has yet to win Best Director
Oh wow.
at the Oscars. So the nominees are Chloe Zhao, Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Mari Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Joachim Trier, Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be PTA this year. A lot of people like that movie, but I don't think Josh Safdie is going to be. The Safdie brothers are great at what they do, but there's the whole Timothy thing surrounding them, and then even without that, they have a whole kind of seediness to one of their other films where a teenager was sexually assaulted on set. So, not that the Academy wouldn't look past that,
Right.
because we know they would, but I don't
And I
think this is the year.
wonder, was that sort of part of their split? Because right now they're not working together.
Yeah, yeah, it was. If I remember correctly, there was, they like to do like kind of raw casting where they go get people, and one of the
Mm,
people that they casted was a guy who I actually believe had like a drug problem. He passed away, but um, he was supposed to to kind of like simulate sex with this girl that they didn't know who was a teen. They didn't know she was a teenager, I guess, when they casted her, and he did more than that. And so, yeah, right. It's a
oh,
lot, and I'm sure
Lord.
there's more missing pieces in there. But anyway, I
Hmm.
believe it's between Chloe Zhao and Ryan Coogler.
Right. And like I said, the Academy loves Ryan Coogler. They love this film. But I
Yeah.
have a feeling that they may give Sinners like Best Picture, but Best Director to Paul Thomas Anderson just because he hasn't won it yet.
Right. Right.
So, because
Yeah.
he's won the PGA, he won the DGA, like
Because if they start
all the
giving
cards are there.
too many awards to sinners, they know people are going to be like, oh, well, they just wanted
Yeah.
this film to win because da 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 da.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to Best Actress in a leading role. We have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue, and Renee Rensiv for Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone for Begonia. Sorry.
Oh, that one. I'm not seeing
Uh,
Songs in Blue. I'm not sure where that came from.
yeah, that one was a dark horse. Basically, all I know is that it's sort of like a film about Neil Diamond and this songstress he knew. They started their careers, and she's in a horrible accident that kind of threatens her life, her livelihood, and like she builds herself back up, I guess, to sing again. That's all I know.
Um, well, what I can tell you is that Rose Byrne is incredible. If I had legs, I'd kick you. That movie is very good. It's on HBO Max if you've not seen it. Emma Stone was good, but yeah, I think this is Jessie Buckley's. I have no doubt. If she doesn't win, I'd be like, okay,
Right.
this is rigged. Like,
Right. She's sort of been I think
yeah,
maybe Rose won something by surprise. I can't remember what it was, but
yeah.
yeah, Jesse's been the front runner. Leading actor Timothy Chalamet, Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent.
Yeah, like we've already. I think Timothy's kicked himself out. Ethan Hawke, like I said, Blue Moon was decent, but this wasn't. No, so it has to be Michael B. Jordan. At least that's who I want to see one too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Leo was ever a consideration. He's just there
Yeah,
because he's
the
Leo.
films everywhere, right? Yeah,
Yeah. If not Jordan, it has to be Mora
yeah.
because he's excellent in this film, and that's my second choice if it's not gonna be Michael. And that leads us to Best Picture. The nominees are Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
Hmm. Yeah. Again, I think this comes down to a few films. Probably one battle after another, Hamnet and Sinners. I absolutely loved F1. That I wish I'd seen that in theaters, but it just doesn't strike me as a film that's going to win an Oscar. Um,
Right, right. And they are playing a sequel.
oh, okay, yeah, that would definitely be there. Um, so I don't know. I hope Sinners win, but I can definitely see either Hamnet or One Battle After Another. I'm not sure enough people saw Train Dreams, even though it's on
Right.
Netflix. It's just not been talked about like that. So
Yeah, yeah. It did win the Spirit Award, quite a few
yeah,
Spirit Awards, which was surprising, but yeah.
maybe
Mine's
it's like a big
choice,
dark horse.
yeah, my choice is Sinners as well. Um, but yeah. Begonia was fine, but it's
Hmm.
horror. I don't think it's gonna win. F1, like you said, I don't think it's that type of film.
Right.
Frankenstein was fine.
Yeah, it was Frankenstein.
Um, Mars Supreme. I wish Uncut Gems was getting all the Mars Supreme
Yeah,
praise.
yeah,
Honestly, Secret Agent. I don't know if enough people saw that, but it is a very good movie.
yeah. That too.
So, like we said, we will see who comes out on top on March 15th. And hopefully, we'll be able to record like a bonus episode for you with our
Oh yeah.
reactions that week so we can get that in and while it's relevant.
Right. Exactly.
We'll get into our last segment, which is our other streams. I checked out the new NBC comedy, well, NBC Universal comedies. The Fall and Rise of Reggie Jenkins is a new Tracy
Mm.
Morgan series on
Oh
NBC.
yeah.
It's
That's the one with
actually,
Daniel Radcliffe, right?
yes, Daniel
Okay.
Radcliffe, Eric Alexander, the guy from SNL, Bob Mahoinian, I think his name
Oh yeah,
is
Moynihan. Yeah,
Moynihan.
yeah, Bobby
Um,
Moynihan. Yeah.
they're all great in it, and you wouldn't think that combination would work, but it's basically an underdog film. Tracy Morgan
Hmm.
plays Dinkins, who was a all-star football player until he was caught gambling and was shunned from
This
the league.
really
And
bad.
he's trying to sort of recuperate his image. He's hired Radcliffe's character, who is an Oscar-winning documentarian, to sort of film his
Yeah.
comeback. It turns out Radcliffe's character was also on the up and up, and then he, from the Oscar win, he went to direct a superhero film and had a mental breakdown on set and has been shunned
Jesus.
from
Jesus.
the industry. So they're both sort of chasing a
Right.
comeback. Erica Alexander is great, of course. She plays Tracy's ex-wife but current manager.
Okay.
Um, and then Bobby plays sort of like his best friend, sort of not assistant, but just sort of like tag along.
Okay.
But it's really funny. You know Tracy Morgan's type of humor, so it has sort of
Yeah.
like that mockumentary type of style, but it's really good. And then of course it has heartfelt moments as well because he's trying to not only repair his career but sort of be a better man for his ex-wife, for his son in general.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a lot about it, and the same thing. People have said that. I think it's somebody I follow on social media or something said that it was charming. Like it was just kind of surprised at how good it was.
Yeah. So it comes on every Monday, I think 8 o'clock on
Okay.
NBC or something like that. And then
Hmm.
episodes are on Peacock the next day.
Yeah, I have to check that out.
And then speaking of Peacock, The Burbs is
All
on
right.
there, starring Kiki Palmer, and sort of like a reimagining of the classic Tom Hanks film, The Burbs, where Kiki and her, some reason she's married to an Englishman, I don't know why, but they move to back to his hometown in the suburbs after having a baby because they want to be closer to his family in a safer environment.
Right.
And of course, the neighborhood is hiding some secret as there's a home where allegedly a girl was murdered, and she
Hmm.
kind of falls down the rabbit hole to try to solve this mystery along with her neighbors who all have their own secrets and whatnot. It's really well done. You wouldn't
Okay.
think that this cast would work. Like Kiki has, she can do anything, but like I've never really watched anything other than Akila and the Bee. I wasn't here for her
Right. Right.
Nickelodeon era, and I've only seen her in, what was it called, Hustlers or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I know like her personality, but I don't know her acting range, and she's really good in it. The writing's funny. The supporting cast is great. You've got Paula, I think her name's Paula Pell. Is that the name? She was a writer on SNL, but she's known for Girls Five Eva now.
Oh, that was good. That was very good.
Yeah, she's the heavyset woman in that show.
Okay.
So she's in it. And then lady who I know her face, but I don't know her name. All I know her from is Designing Women, but she's in it. Really good, strong cast. So I think you can binge. All episodes have been available since like mid-February, but it got great ratings.
That's
Um,
good.
Folks really liked it, so that's what sort of
Yeah,
like I'm trying to catch on on.
I have it in my watch list on there because also on Peacock they have the show Ponies about the two women who are like secretaries in like 1980s Russia or whatever. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I just forget about Peacock if I'm being honest. There's so many.
Same, exactly
Yeah.
same. Yeah. So if you're hearing this, thank you for listening to the full episode of It's a Stream of Life podcast. Like we said, we will hopefully return with a bonus episode for you with our Oscar reactions, and then we'll probably see you again in April. So
Right.
until then, keep on streaming.
Peace.